in my opinion, that's all it needs to be.
All it needs to be.
It's like, this is me.
Yeah, because you're selling yourself really in real estate. Like I'm selling design. I'm just selling a little bit of like the process and the behind the scenes. But you guys are selling, hey, I'm the person to work with.
Back to it being a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely a relationship business. And real estate is not just, I'm going to show up and stick a sign in the ground we're just going to pray somebody sells it. Like it's a concierge service, in my opinion.
What did you used to call it? There's like the
oh yeah, it is a total concierge.
The 3 P's of real estate.
3 P's of real estate. Yep.
Okay, let's hear.
We're going to sign the paperwork.
Okay, paperwork.
We put the sign in the ground. And we're going to pray somebody sells it.
Yeah. There you go. I like that. I like that strategy. That's good. That's working.
It doesn't work.
I don't know why.
Not anymore. It's just
anymore.
with the way of the internet and the way, people don't hire real estate brokers to find them a house anymore. Like people look on Zillow.
Yeah, and they just send you the houses that they want.
They send you the houses. Yeah. It's not, like, I'm going to work with this person because they're find me a house. No, you're not. You're going to find the house.
Yeah.
Like you may get lucky every once in a while. Like we have an advantage, I think, in a big office because we have team meetings every Tuesday.
Well,
and
so
like
you see a lot of inventory that's not on the market.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
But but I personally, I don't share a lot of that stuff in advance because I think personally that your best option is to put the house onto the market, not to sell it as a pocket listing in your office.
Interesting, yeah.
Right. Like I really think like
Open
if you want to know
good.
true market value on your house, you have to let the buyers talk about it. Like you have to put it out into the world.
Yeah.
Buyers have to look at it and they need to decide what it's worth. Not that one person, because that one person could come in and be like, oh, I'll pay full price. And be like, oh man, that's awesome.
Right.
But there may be 3 other people out there that are going to pay more and they're going to pay cash or they're going to do whatever. You just don't know.
Right.
So I just feel like I don't like telling the whole office about it. Like I'd rather go out onto the market. Right. And then obviously like you're talking about, you get the opportunity to market it.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is all those phone calls to different realtors and the back and forth and people seeing it's good to be able to have your vision and who you are out there.
Yeah. You don't want to be a secret agent for sure.
No.
It's not a thing.
Not in this text context. No secret agent.
No secret agents. No, you definitely want to be out there.
Talking like this again, so it makes me think that secret agent. Huh? Is that right? Code word or something else?
Code words for something else? No, not at all. But no, it's a concierge service. It's I really feel like it's one of the questions that I asked in here, and I'll ask you also. But like what it takes to be a good real estate broker now is to be able to guide your client from the start to finish and beyond with all the stuff and be 2 or 3 steps ahead of the process and know what's happening. And so you can prepare your clients and you can keep your clients stressed down. Like there's a whole thing about that. It's not just like, show up and sign here. And I think any jerk can do that.
Right.
Or any asshole is what I said the other day when we were talking about this. I think, seriously, it's like, you can read the contract.
Yeah.
but like
that's not the part that's that's not ever the part.
If you know what buyers are thinking, if you can anticipate what they're going to ask for or how they're going to ask for it, and you can if you can prepare your clients in that regard and minimize stress, you're just going to do a way better job. So it is very much a service-based business, in my opinion, instead of a sales-based. I mean, we sell ourselves, which I've told people before. Not a whore, people, but So back to that thing in Vegas that Robin and I were doing.
Right,
yeah. No, but what? Since we're talking about that, what in your opinion makes a good real estate broker? Because I think, and I'm curious to know also, because I think everybody has different opinions on what it is. Because my opinion of what it is may be different than yours. Not that either one of us are wrong, but it's just different. And I think everybody's different in and how they feel about it and what they want, right? Yeah. So I'd love to hear, because you've been a real estate broker or in the real estate business for 16 years. Is that right? Yeah,
I've been a broker for 16 years and started in Chicago and then Arizona and was licensed there for 5 years and then came here. Yeah. Yeah. So,
and your mom's a real estate
my
investor?
My mom
and all that
is like... she is freaking a badass. Like my mom is like my hero, really. She's cool. She has her license in Hawaii and California and Utah and has bought like 50 rental homes that she manages from California, but she lives in California. They're all in Utah. And they've all now increased in value like crazy because she bought them in good locations and in the 80s when housing prices were crap. And she was a teacher and she did this all part-time while raising 6 kids.
Wow.
So how she did it, I don't even know. Like I can't even keep my shoes tied most days. But
Speaking
really,
of that, my shoe actually is untied.
there you go. See?
It is literally untied.
There you go.
This whole time I've been fidgeting with my foot, trying to keep my shoe on my
Keep
foot.
your shoe on. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm tying it. I'm tying it.
Anyway, so back to this real estate stuff. What makes a good real estate broker, especially one that can tie their shoes?
Yes.
For sure.
Come with your shoes on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's different for each person because each person is so different. But I do feel like, in general, it's being a good listener and figuring out what their wants are. But also, it's a psychological mind game. It's like you're trying to figure out what they want. They're saying one thing, and then they're really wanting something totally different. And then their husband walks in the room, and they want something really different. So there's a therapist role, there's a psychologist role, there's a salesperson role, there's the negotiating part
Babysitter,
and half the
counselor.
time I am babysitting kids, or like, here, I'll take your kids, go look at the house. Like, I feel like there's a lot of different things that it comes, and honestly, it's partly why I don't practice it anymore, is just because you have to wear so many hats and you have to be available pretty much all the time for clients. And that's the piece that kind of is tricky when you're not wanting to be that invested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes total
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
But I really feel like that's just being available and answering questions and sometimes 2 steps ahead. And sometimes it's like, oh, okay, let me put out this fire and let me figure out what I need to negotiate. Cause I think a lot of it is like figuring out what are you really saying you want and what is the seller really saying they want, especially
what can you
right now too, because there's so many things that are coming up on inspections and so much sellers still think it's a seller's market. They haven't quite gotten on the bandwagon that it's not quite. And yeah, I think there's some confusion that way.
Yeah, a lot of the negotiation stuff is, like you're saying, it's
Falling
just
out of contract, really.
managing personalities.
Yeah, right.
Just you're trying to manage your client's personality, whether it's a buyer or a seller.
Yeah.
And you're also trying to negotiate or manage the personality of the other real estate broker, which can
Right.
be a huge challenge, which is probably
Yeah.
the worst part about this job, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, well, especially if you can't get a hold of them or if they're not. Yeah.
yeah, or they're just jerks.
Yeah,
like
that's right.
it's there's just
I've had a few of those too here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've been a little jerky in my day.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, Becca. You did a good job pretending like you didn't know.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about a personal real estate transaction that we were on?
Did we do a personal real
Yeah,
estate
we
transaction?
did. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I don't know if I was
You
real
weren't
jerky about
No,
that one.
You weren't
No,
at all.
no.
Yeah. I was like, that's why I was like second guessing. No, you weren't. You
Yeah.
were great.
No, I actually felt really bad about that one.
Well, you shouldn't have. It's a great house. It's a cute house.
You really did a good job on that
Yeah,
one,
that
too.
was a fun one. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was an interesting situation too, because the sellers were in a really tight spot, and
yeah.
I just felt really bad because I felt bad for them, and I felt bad for you because I didn't feel like you guys needed to do what you did, and we don't need to get into details, but
the cool thing about that is we were already invested and we already knew it was the right house. It felt right.
yeah,
And so kids were excited. Everyone was excited. So, and sometimes you you have to take a step back. And as a buyer, this is a good lesson. If you are already invested emotionally, but you've already thought through floor plan, you've already thought through what you're going to make the house into, and then something happens and it's a hurdle, sometimes starting the process all over again is actually going to be more money than just paying the extra inspection item or paying whatever it is and just finalizing the process.
yeah.
It feels like a big amount at the time, but it's really not. It's just
It's a small blip.
Add it to the
it's a
bottom
small
line.
blip in
Yeah.
time.
Right.
It's a small chunk out of your wallet.
Right.
Like I've always said this, and I've always felt it. Like money comes around. Like it's just like the extra $1,000 that you're going to spend here is not going to ruin your life,
No.
or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like
not-
people just
not on
like
that front end. No.
yeah, it's just not. So it may feel a little hard at first.
Yeah.
But it's going to go away. Like you're going to deal with it. People, we're humans. We survive. That's what we
Right.
do. So you're
And
going to
what
live.
is the timing of that house? I go to sell it 2 years later, right? Was it 2 years? I'm pretty sure. And the market was crazy. I didn't even list it. It was phone ringing off the hook. When
Yep.
are you listing it? When are you listing it? I'm like,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Yeah.